Has there ever been a title so apt, so succinct, so perfectly to the point that it doesn't even really need a plot synopsis? Well, today we're heading into the tent of the wacky and crazy world of killer clowns from outer space.
Nice hearing from you, Carlos.
What in blue blazes is the circus doing up in these parts?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space was brought to us by the Chiodo Brothers. You may recognize their names as they were the creature effects makers on the Critters series, which is a pretty big favorite over here at JoBlo Horror. But unlike Critters, where they served as puppeteers and builders, here they were in full-on creative roles. Because of that, most of the special effects were actually done by other artists. The original title was simply Killer Clowns, but producers were worried that it would be mistaken for a slasher movie. So they added the From Outer Space to emphasize the science fiction elements. Though, I mean, the fact that they're from space doesn't really amount to much other than somewhat explaining that they aren't demons. Because I mean, look at these ugly bastards. The setup for Killer Clowns is pretty simple. A bunch of aliens who look like clowns come down from space and terrorize a small town. We start off with this old man and his dog coming across a massive circus tent in the middle of the forest. I don't know why, but this guy's performance always gives me such a chuckle.
I'll tear this thing apart with my bare hands!
And the way the clown just snatches up the dog like a cartoon really sets the tone early.
The goddamn to-do! What do we have here?
A bunch of couples are out at makeout point, including Mike and Debbie. They're two of the townsfolk who are trying to stop the clowns, and they have varying degrees of success. In his first film role ever, Christopher Titus actually appears as one of the people at makeout point, as well as a funny bit at the beginning where he runs into a cop while drinking a beer on the sidewalk. There's a lot to look out for in this one. You may recognize Mike as Grant Kramer from New Year's Evil. If not, then I'm sure you recognize Suzanne Snyder, who appeared in Weird Science. Oh, gotta love some Weird Science. To be fair, they are some pretty decent good guys in that they are immediately in action, trying to warn others about the dangers of the clowns. There's no running off and trying to save themselves going on here. In fact, they are constantly putting themselves in harm's way to save other people.
Ooh, scary.
Helping them out were the Terenzi Brothers, who happen to have an ice cream truck. Oh, and they are total pervs. And finally, we have Officer Dave Hansen in a bit of a hero role. Originally, his character was even killed off during the big explosion at the end. However, this was changed after test audiences desired a happier ending.
Dave!
Oh! You made it!
But I mean, how on earth are any of these people surviving this? We got to see this ice cream truck get blown sky high. Yet here they are, completely fine outside of a little bit of wear and tear. Apparently, this clown car offers amazing protection. Brilliant character actor John Vernon plays the police chief, and he is absolutely hysterical.
I had to shoot you right now, you red-nosed freak.
Just watch as he refuses to believe anyone that calls in to talk about the clowns.
They took your wife away in a balloon? Well, you don't need a police pal, you need a psychiatrist.
They want to play games? They're messing with the wrong guy.
The man is an absolute savage. Then there's the disturbing bit where one of the clowns uses the chief like a ventriloquist dummy. Getting some pretty serious Dead Silence vibes here.
Make a dummy out of yourself, but you're not gonna make a dummy out of me.
The movie is shockingly dark, with so many people getting wiped out by the clowns. Not to mention the bodies that are found in their cotton candy-like shell. I don't know about you, but this image haunted me as a kid. Damn you, Sci-Fi Channel. In case you weren't aware, the Sci-Fi Channel used to play this movie constantly. So wait, thank you, Sci-Fi Channel. There's even a biker death that feels very reminiscent to a certain death in Jason Takes Manhattan. But given the super weird editing, you don't even really see much of it happen.
Popcorn, why? Popcorn!
Because the clowns, that's why!
This is pretty much the only explanation you need as to why these monsters do the things they do. I mean, just look at their little inflatable balloon dog. Adorable. The popcorn is even later explained to be the clowns in their larval form, which honestly just makes the popcorn even grosser when you really think about it. And while they may seem like they're invincible, they actually just need to be hit in the nose. Yup, one smack in the nose and they full on explode like a firework. The massive clown that appears in the film's finale is named Jojo the Clownzilla, and he was originally supposed to be created using stop-motion animation. You know, Ray Harryhausen style. Instead, the filmmakers opted for the much cheaper route of putting Charles Chiodo in a big rubber suit and filming it with forced perspective and green screen instead. The effect still works, but it really makes you wonder what it would have looked like as stop motion. Love me some stop motion. And even if you've never seen this movie before, you may actually recognize the clown designs because they were later reused in Ernest Scared Stupid. That's right, these trolls are just repurposed clowns. Small world. The music by John Massari is so 80s in the best of ways. It's got just enough synth to remind you what decade this takes place in, but with some pretty badass rock music as well. Then there's the guitar riff on the main theme by the Dickies, which is an absolute gem. Talk about kick ass.
This is more important than selling ice cream. There's clowns going around killing people. We're all in danger.
And they say we're crazy.
Killer Klowns from Outer Space released on May 27, 1988 in the United States and brought in $43 million worldwide. Given its budget of only $1.8 million, the movie was a massive financial success. And this is probably where you're expecting me to talk about poor critic reviews. But prepare to be surprised. Killer Klowns actually holds a 76% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which, considering critics' usual treatment of the genre, is massive. The title must have scared off all the hoity-toity people like Roger Ebert, but thankfully reviewers seem to understand its campy tone. The movie was fully remastered and released in 2018 by Arrow Video. It's one hell of a set with great featurettes and interviews. Despite its cult status, a sequel for the film has been stuck in development hell for decades. Every time it seems like there's some positive momentum, it just fizzles out. There was even news that Sci-Fi had gained the rights and were going to develop a TV show. Given the success of shows like Creepshow and Chucky, this seems like it'd be the best bet. But even then, there's been crickets. While life has been barren of Killer Klowns content for decades, that doesn't mean there aren't some cool things going on with the IP. Universal Studios' Halloween Horror Nights even did a very cool haunted house featuring the titular monsters. And then Waxwork Records just recently released a vinyl of the soundtrack, and it is one cool looking piece of memorabilia. I don't even collect vinyl and I want this.
Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Holy shit.
Killer Klowns from Outer Space has certainly earned its cult status over the years, and provides one of the most entertaining B-movies out there. Just remember, if you ever run into a circus tent in the middle of the woods, run. Run far away.
Made it to a career, I can make it through this bullshit.